this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is the EndGame Gear XM1R. This is a refreshed version of the EndGame Gear XM1 that I reviewed a while back, and this is an interesting mouse which is affordable at just £49, which is about $50 to $60 depending on where you are in the world. And it is a very nice looking mouse with a number of different highlights to it. It is interesting because it comes in 4 different colours. There's white, black, Dark Reflex, which is the one you're seeing here, and Dark Frost. The Dark Reflex one is obviously a very shiny affair, a glossy finish, whereas the Dark Frost is a matte version. And the other 2 colours, I actually think that white would probably be the nicest looking based on the product shots. I opted for the Dark Reflex because I thought it would make for the most interesting look in terms of video, but as you can see, it reflects everything, including all the lights that I'm using to capture the footage, so it actually looks terrible. Well, I think in person it probably looks a bit better under normal lighting. Now, this is an interesting mouse for a number of different reasons. As I said, it is affordable. It also weighs in at 70 grams, so it's fairly lightweight without having loads of holes drilled into it. It also has a number of other highlights that includes Kailh's switches, both on the mouse wheel itself and on the left and right buttons. And that's fairly unusual because you usually see Omron switches on a gaming mice, so it's pretty interesting to see Kailh switches instead. It's Kailh's GM 8.0 switches, and they've got a click force of 55 grams to 60. And you'll see also that you have the other highlights that include swappable skates on the other side. So it comes set up with these small skates, but you also have the option to swap out for larger ones, which is something I'm going to do. It also has a very nice flex cord. And I really enjoyed the original cord on the previous XM1 because it was very floppy and lightweight and didn't cause issues. One thing of note is it has a ferrite core attached to it now to prevent interference, electromagnetic interference, and problems that might cause issues with registering your clicks and such, which is pretty interesting. But that is a heavy addition to the mouse, although it is next to the USB port, so that shouldn't potentially be a problem. Now, this mouse also obviously has a setup where there are buttons underneath. So you have 6 buttons total, 2 on top, 2 on the side, the mouse wheel, and then the CPI button underneath. This is basically adjusts what is equivalent to the DPI level. Press that button and you can adjust between 400, 800, 1600 and 3200 as the predefined levels. But if you press and hold it, you can also switch the polling rate between 125 Hz, 500 Hz and 1000 Hz. So that's pretty nifty. You can also customize this stuff in the software apparently, although that software is not yet launched. The only software that I could access at the time of doing this video is a firmware updating tool. There isn't any other software for customizing the settings as of yet. But one thing I do like is this hardware level to be able to just swap out the feet, because obviously you've got now 2 very large, very slick PTFE feet on the underside, so it moves around really nicely, and that is one of the sort of highlights of this mouse. It's designed to be lightweight with a really good setup in terms of the specifications, and also really agile thanks to those slippery large feet on the underside. It has a Pixart PAW3370 sensor and the mix of Kailh switches in there as well. I'll leave all the specifications in the description below so you can find out more. And for those that are interested, as a lift-off distance of 1 mil, although apparently that's adjustable up to 2 mil in the software. Now I want to talk to you a bit about the finish on this. As I said, I went for the Dark Reflex version because I thought it would be the most visually interesting. However, unfortunately the result is quite different. It is nice looking, to be fair, but one thing that I found quite quickly is that it picks up fingerprints and mars quite badly under daily use. I've been using it for a while now, both gaming and working, and I found that it just picks up those fingerprints quite well. It is nice because you can see the sort of inside of it through the smoky finish on the outer shell, but there's no RGB lighting or anything going on the underside, so it's not particularly interesting in any other way. The other thing that I found about it, which is odd, I thought that it would be a bit too slick and it would slip around in my hand. I haven't actually had a problem with that. It sits in the hand quite well and it's quite easy to grip onto. Usually with slick mice like this with a sort of glossy finish, they're quite hard to keep hold of. This one is not the case at all. I haven't had that problem. One thing I have found is that the shell kind of gets quite greasy. Now, obviously this is down to my hands, but it's not an issue I've had with other mice and it's just the sort of overall glossiness of it kind of leads to it feeling a bit sticky. And I've cleaned it numerous times and obviously gone to the effort of washing my hands and trying to keep my hands clean and the mouse clean, but I've just found it to be a really sticky affair, which is quite weird. It's a bit of a strange complaint that hopefully you won't have, but if I was to choose again which one I wanted, I think I'd go for the white version instead of the glossy one, because I don't think I'd have a problem with that one because it's not glossy by comparison. Now on to the serious business of actually using the thing. I've found this mouse to be very effective when gaming. I've been playing Rainbow Six Siege with it, bit of Chivalry, totally accurate Battlegrounds and 0 Hour. And I've been using it for working as well as gaming, so it's been regularly used and well used. And I found that it is agile and easy to use too. That cord is very flexible. You can see that it's not causing any problems. It's not tugging on the desk and it's not causing any issues. And the mouse itself is obviously quite lightweight at 70 grams. And so it moves around nicely. There's no horrible play in the mouse buttons. And it is accurate and seems to respond well. I've enjoyed it for what it is. And it has done a good job of helping me get the upper hand on the enemy in game. And I found it comfortable to use, apart from the nag of sort of the stickiness and clamminess of it. It has been very good on the hand. I usually prefer a thumb rest and a bit of a larger mouse, but this actually fit really well. And generally, I'm struggling to find complaints with it, and that is certainly a good thing. Overall, a very nice mouse to game on, and even better when you consider the price, because it is very affordable with some very good specifications for the money, and it's accurate and fun to use too. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions. Be sure to check out all the information in the description for more, including links to buy, the specs, and a link to the firmware update tools, as well as the other downloads that might be available in the future. Thanks for watching. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Hope you found this video useful, interesting, hilarious, or otherwise. Take a look at these other videos that I think you might find interesting as well. And have a look at the description for links and other information you might find useful. Click that join button to see the benefits of being a member of my YouTube channel. And most importantly, have a great life.